Hello and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. We are still in the palace. We have Maya and Ishiza on our side now. I'm very interested if Ishiza is going to be able to fight as well or has to be on the back. Because I remember in the first part we had Sagani and Itumak, and I always left Itumak at the back. Let's talk to Prince Arui again if he can give us some work.
What say?
Arui opens his palm and nods. I want to discuss the black market in the gullet.
My sister keeps a tight grip on the kataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet.
He opens his hand for emphasis and wipes it across his shoulders.
You have some knowledge of Nekataka already. They say you have explored the city beneath the city.
Arui's brow arches. Well, we've just been at the at the harbor with the pirates, nothing else.
Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Raparo for their silence?
Do smuggler contraband pay? Okay.
How do they avoid the inspectors? Who is responsible? This cannot have gone unseen by all.
The prince crosses his arms and frowns. I have to lie because this is for the good of the Raparu. Now they are like without any food. Afraid I didn't find anything.
Nothing? Takehu, what say?
I hold nothing back, my prince. We discovered the Principe at the heart of Delver's Row.
Tikehu? The prince turns and regards you with an impassive expression. Only by the subtle movement of his cheek can you tell that he is clenching a straw.
You would do better not to lie to me. Akira, have you anything else to report? Anything of substance?
That's good. I think he wasn't even with us when we discovered this, but it's good that he doesn't say anything about how they do it. For what it's worth, I think Delvos Row should remain untouched. What do you plan on doing about Delvos Row?
I learned in the arena never to underestimate an advantage. For now, it is enough that I know where they bring in goods.
Yeah, but you don't know where exactly in Delvos Row. For what it's worth, I think Delvos Row should remain untouched.
What say?
Rui's brow rises slowly.
You hit upon my curiosity. Speak on.
He opens his palm and waits. Diplomacy. The Raparo are barely in control of their lives as it is. Don't take this away from them.
You are quick to come to their defense, but the Raparu must recall their place in society.
Sighing, the prince weighs your words.
If the black market will expend its resources toward the Raparu, then I say they have bought in an easy truce. Delver's Row is safe, for now.
Arui glances toward the entrance doubtfully, but shrugs in spite of himself.
Be sure that I do not regret this.
Water shapers were helping the pirates bring in ships? Should I say that? I don't know if Takehu likes that.
Takehu,
But there's no other
I
words
say
for
that
it.
no one wanted to hear your suspicions confirmed.
Akira, me least of all, my prince.
When it comes to the dignity of the guild, the crown can compromise nothing. Onikaza will see their leadership disciplined, I say.
Streetwise, they must have needed the money. Can you imagine why?
Akira, I cannot.
Arui pinches his lower lip and sighs.
Onikaza and I both expect more from the guild, I say. She will not be pleased.
Arui shakes his head and sighs.
Akira, but at least you returned to me in one piece. You are not the first agent I sent to the gullet, but you are the first to return.
I was there before you sent me, actually. Arui grins in spite of himself and claps you on the shoulder.
I say I would feel safe anywhere with Rawatai's sharpest weapon in my arsenal.
He inclines his head to Maya.
If you're trying to flatter me, stop taking notes from my brother the poet.
Maya folds her arms and grimaces at Arui.
I cannot say that I desire to send you to worse places than the gullet, but...
Arui trails off and scratches the back of his head. But you're going to anyway.
Akira, my apologies. Does the name Ukaizo mean anything to you?
The prince's face is impassive, but he seems to be studying yours with close attention to detail. Well, I'm from the Deadfire archipelago. I believe it's a sacred island somewhere in the Deadfire.
It was the island capital of the Huana Empire of old. A fable, they say.
Fable? No. History, I say. Ukaizo was the home of the Huana before cataclysm and destruction wiped the island from the Deadfire. That is the story. Story or no, I make no secret that we search for Ukaizo.
He studies you, allowing his words to sink in.
I do not share this lightly, I say.
He glances at Maya, his attention lingering.
Please, speak on. If it looks like I'm taking notes, it's because I am.
She winks down at Ishiza. Skullduggery, Joti's eyes narrow, dark lashes fusing.
Should I leave this in the hands of someone I trust instead?
Arui, he turns to you with a look of warning. Maya is not my vassal. She will do as she chooses.
All the same, I'm not above a good faith gesture.
Maya folds her papers and tucks them away. The prince nods.
Our tribes are spread across many isles, but it is Ukaizo which binds us. Ukaizo, and the knowledge that we must return. To that end, a local cartographer secured a lead. A breadcrumb to a breadcrumb, I say. I sent an expedition to Matario Kozi, one of the Sanctuary Isles. They were to retrieve evidence of our lost homeland. They have yet to return.
Sanctuary Isles?
They were sites where our ancestors grouped in terms of crisis, constants in changing seas. You have the cartographer Atepo to thank. He wanders the western shrine if you would know more.
The prince makes a dismissive way towards the door. What makes you think that Motario Kozi contains evidence of Ukaizo?
The Sanctuary Isles give comfort and guidance to sailors on the long journey home. I am hoping the island can remember its purpose and return us to the home we lost.
How has the island remained hidden all this time?
A question for those with years to gather reeds and scribe their thoughts.
Aruhi smooths back his hair and sighs.
It might be that someone or something on the island does not wish to be found. In better times than these, I would have been happy to oblige.
Should I expect any resistance?
The trading companies would not have thought to look for Matario Kozi, but now they are vultures to carrion. I do not doubt that our rivals race for the same thing, all while we fall behind.
Aruhi sighs. I have no further questions.
Ikera, then you are ready to depart?
I trust you'll relay my helpfulness to the queen?
Naturally, I say. My sister remembers her friends. I remember her enemies.
Aruhi winks.
To Kehu, I trust you are going. I want the tribes to know that Ngati's chosen stood among those who threw open the gates of Ukaizo.
He turns a helpful glance at Tekehu.
I make no promises of dirtying my hands in some fetid jungle, but I do not protest a calm voyage.
Irresponsibility. Irked, Jyoti runs her tongue over her teeth.
Before you go,
Aruhi lowers his tone and glances to his left and right.
That did seem like too nice a way to end it.
the expedition, I have reason to believe they will not be returning to Nekataka.
Go on.
We found this at the palace doorstep, cut from the robe of the expedition leader.
He reaches into his pocket and draws forth a wad of red-stained bark cloth.
One mystery heaped on another, I say.
He drags his thumb over the cloth and frowns to himself. Let me see that. I might be able to learn something from it. Nodding, he relinquishes the scrap. A fragment of essence clings to the fabric like a thread woven too tightly to be unraveled. Trees tower above you, and ropey vines stretch like tentacles across a marshy ruin. It takes all of your strength to trudge through the hip-deep water. You glance over your shoulders, but the women and men of your company aren't there. Then a shape moves off in the distance. You draw your weapon, feeling now more alone than ever. The vision departs, leaving you with a deep pit in your stomach and the phantom sensation that nothing has gone as it should have. The prince regards you expectantly. Survivor 4. Nature is restless on this island, but I can guess nothing more.
I suspected this, as you say. Take care if you alight on Matario Kozi. My fear is that the island is sanctuary no more.
Sighing, Prince Aruhi folds the cloth with reverence.
Prepare yourself for a hard voyage northeast of Nekataka. Matario Kozi is nestled in the Kua Rokuhu Islands, in the midst of a landmass that resembles a storm, like the fall of Ukaizo locked in time.
Ruihi bites his thumbnail and turns away, lost in thought.
Don't mind me as I take down those coordinates.
Skullduggery. Jyoti's eyes narrow, dark lashes fusing.
Certain death it is, then.
Travel to the ruins. Okay, we have more quests. Some of them are even doable at our current level, like this bounty, mapping the archipelago in Port Marge. Yes, the Lantern of Gone. Okay, I don't know where that would be. Okay, that's going to be normal. Just continuing. Learn about Poko Kohora in Tikawara. Find the ancient temple. Bounty kill and take her ship's triumph. The Brass Empire. Speak with the Hazanui at the Brass Citadel. This is the first thing we're gonna do now. Disrupt the luminous order at Poko, yeah? Kill and take a ship for the Republics. Meet with the directors at the Valiant Trading Company offices. This is something we have to do as well. Sail to Fort Deadlights. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to the Brass Citadel guy, and afterwards we're going to check out if we can get Polygina from the Valiant Trading Company. I know she's not actually with them anymore, but maybe... Oh, there's a Shrine of Hylia. Can we go there? Yes. But maybe she's there now because she's supposed to be, well, asked to come to the Valiant Trading Company. We can talk to Takeho. You catch Takeho glancing your way. He quickly focuses elsewhere and smooths back his hair when he notices your attention. Something on your mind?
Is there anything the Watcher does not see?
Takeho grins, but the look quickly diminishes.
We have both seen the worst of the city. How the Raparu cluster like sea rats.
Takeho's hand unconsciously strays toward his stomach.
Delver's Row will take care of them for a time, but I say the Crown will not suffer the Principe for long. How did the stone walls and paved lanes of Nekataka divide us so?
He sighs, shaking his head.
You have walked the length of Nekataka's spine. How would you serve the needs of all these people at once?
Let's start with what you have and find a better system.
Akera, a practical solution, and one open to change.
Nodding, Takeho absently tugs one of his hairs. For the moment he seems totally withdrawn. Finally he snaps back into focus, regarding you with a smile which seems both genuine and strained.
I was hard-pressed to find insight like yours in Pariki's Overlook.
Some of the tension leaves Takeho's shoulders and he stands a little taller than before. I have more questions for you.
You have questions? Akera, I have answers.
Takeho opens his palm and gestures for you to speak freely. Where did you live prior to Nekataka?
The Kahanga are my tribe, but my people settled on Atua, an island too modest to deserve the attention of maps. My mortal mother tans boar hides. My father trades in the abundance of pearls and opals Atua is blessed to provide. When I was born, Father called me his blue topaz boy.
Takeho scratches the back of his head and grins. Your birth must have been a big event.
Akera, high winds stirred the vigor of the seas. 2 huts collapsed before our local storm speaker could shout down the weather.
He beams with pride.
They say the skies only cleared when I fell into the midwife's basket. Peace had returned to the island, or so the Mataru predicted.
Have any other notable godlike come from Atua?
Doubtless, I say. But I am the most precious gem of recent history.
If you say so.
Godlike are revered as bringers of local change, but only Ngati's chosen is thought to deliver an omen for all Huana at once.
What did you do around the islands?
I could not be kept from the water, so my father taught me how to dive for pearls and azada snails. Ngati filled my palms with riches on every harvest, I say. When I came of an age to begin a man's pursuits, the Mataru reached out to the Kahanga Queen. Weighing my arrival against the forces that descended on her territory, the Queen could not invite Ngati's chosen into the Water Shapers Guild fast enough. In hard times, the endorsement of a goddess is more valuable than currency.
Alright, back to my previous questions.
Akara, speak on.
Tell me about water shaping, Takehu.
Ah, the art of our ancestors, I say. To bend water to our will is a gift from Mother Ngati to her chosen people.
Takehu stands tall and grins with pride.
Since devastation swept our way of life out to sea, too much of the art has been lost. Periki, founder of the guild, organized the lore of Ngati's talent into a series of postures and meditations we call the 4 forms of water shaping.
And what are these forms?
Try as we might to embody Ngati's element, our bodies are not water. Akara, this is the form of grief, a beginner's test.
Takehu closes his eyes and sweeps out his hands, exhaling sharply.
The body's internal water is a force that conquers all. Even the mountain will bow to the stream. The form of hope, I say.
Takehu crosses one leg before the other and sways on the spot.
Water commands its vessel, and the vessel can be shaped as surely as the mountain. The form of metamorphosis, Akara?
Takehu opens his eyes, which now resemble polished onyx. His smile is hungry, predatory. He blinks and the effect is gone.
The art is a challenge to grasp, difficult to master, and impossible to perfect. Unless you are Ngati's chosen, I say.
Okay. You said there were 4 forms.
Ah, it is only by force of habit that I omit the final form. We do not speak of it in the guild. The form of transcendence.
Takehu closes his eyes and concentrates. Holding out his palms, he bites his lower lip and focuses. Finally, he shakes his head and stands at ease once more.
Only a story, I say. Even crafty Periki could not commit this ancient form to her scrolls. It was said that our ancestors could shape the very oceans of the Deadfire. This was Ngati's true gift, but we have yet to recover it from the ruins of our past.
Alright, well then, let's be off. We can talk to Atepu. The sun-scarred Huana glances up from the rumpled sheet of parchment in his hands and regards you with unease.
Atepu, drawer of maps. I have nothing to sell unless you are needing something else.
He clears his throat and rolls up the parchment with a quick spin of his palms. You're the cartographer who discovered Smotario Cozy, correct?
What I discovered remains to be seen.
A cautious smile spreads across his lips.
The Sanctuary Isles were thought to be lost beneath the waves. If I stumbled upon one, I can think of worse finds to credit my name.
How did you make the discovery?
I was surveying the waters around an atoll when a storm dragged my ship off course. The waters were unknown to me. When a green fleck appeared in my spyglass, I unfurled my sail. The shore twisted around itself, confusing even this old navigator until I found myself at the center. I did not make it far up the beach before I spotted signs of habitation. Marking my coordinates and orienting myself by the evening sky, I made for Neketaka to tell the crown of my findings.
If I were venturing to this island, what might I find?
Death.
Atepu stares away, his face losing its color until he catches your expression.
I did not mean to frighten you. These islands have known great tragedy, and millennia have passed in cheerless silence. Should you land on a sanctuary isle, do not expect to find welcome.
Can you tell me more about these sanctuary islands?
Our ancestors marked off specific islands across Deadfire as rallying points in case a great misfortune split up the tribes. Even they could not have guessed how important the isles would become. Some thousands of years ago, volcanoes, storms, and quakes shook the archipelago. Any one of those do happen, but never with such ferocity or all at once. The Huana survived by taking shelter on the Sanctuary Isles to save our society, and not just any one tribe. Since those days, we have not found any of the old Sanctuary Isles. Ngati took some beneath the waves, taking whole tribes with her. Others were lost to time and forgetfulness. I am told that the Wahaki are protective toward the Isles, but that is their business.
Atepu shrugs. You mentioned that entire tribes were lost.
Understand, The Deadfire was broken. The lives lost could not be counted. And more has been forgotten than may ever be remembered. Imagine how much history we lost in a single year, much less the millennia that followed. Whatever our people hoped for themselves, we may never know if we got it right or wrong.
Back to my other questions.
If we must.
He patiently gestures for you to continue. You must have seen much on your travels. Ever found a sign of Ukaizo? Just hearing the words causes him to perk up at attention, though his lips press together at a slant.
There is not a Juana in all of the Deadfire who does not take to the open water hoping to catch a glimpse of the lost Ukaizo.
He sighs.
If I could walk the beaches of our ancestors, take a fleeting glimpse of what they left behind, mine would be a life well lived.
What would you hope to find on Ukaizo?
The same thing we all hope for. Answers to the long silence that precedes our history. Who we were could tell us who we are. But if I am being selfish, maps, charts. Our ancestors were keen explorers, and a roll of their parchment could teach us more than what we have gathered in the last century.
Alright then, farewell. We have talked about everything. What?
I got this. Hey there.
Everyone, if possible,
I got
yeah?
this.
Just to look around a bit more. What do we have here? The rise of the Cypherangas and some things here. Oh, wait. Let me just see what it says. Though simple in construction, the sink is clean and tidy. Someone has finished off a quick meal here. Let's go upstairs. Alright. We could just look around a bit. The Queen's chambers are there, though I'm not sure if we're allowed to be there.
You songwriters need a guild if you hope to learn discipline.
Not so. We speak in the tongue of Ngati and Amira. Your pretty dances may upset the puddle, but we command the wind and sky.
Hey, I have missed our little talks.
Ikera.
Okay, let us talk to Barati.
He smells one touched by the great eel, does Barati.
A sizable Amawa tilts his head up and looks down his nose at you, flaring his nostrils with hungry interest.
You are a man who sits across a fire with death. Akira?
I've peered through the jaws of Tangaloa at a time or two or three. He nods, clasping his hands with quiet delight.
For glutting mighty Tangaloa and hurling foes into their next life, Barati can offer payment.
Coins for feeding hungry
Coins
gods.
for feeding hungry gods. Akira?
Sorry, I thought it was not what he says. Sometimes it's a bit weird because I'm still having that in mind from the first game that you sometimes have to speak what it says here and sometimes not. Sorry. Akira.
Rewarding those who appease the great eel. This is Barati's cause. May the beasts of the dreaming lands never know famine.
Barati inclines his head and touches his brow, holding the pose with deep reverence. What bounties do you have available? Oh god, another one with bounties.
Tangaloa rolls a hungry eye toward Dichila, a Valian captain who scouts for luminous Adra in sacred lands.
Barati squeezes his knuckles until they're bone white. Well, I'll take the bounty.
Akira, Tangaloa knew it would be so. Dichila sails her Voyager Alicio around the waters south of Nikitaka. The great eel hungers for her soul.
Barati touches his brow and inclines his head. Before I go, I had some questions.
Ask, but do not keep the great eel waiting.
Alright, there's nothing then. Farewell. We know already about her, so that's fine. Can we go into the Queen's rooms, or is it not allowed? Apparently it's allowed, but she's not here currently.
Isn't this something?
It would be stealing, so we're not doing that. What pages lie strewn between the books hold a strange arrangement of letters, not all in the Huana alphabet. I could try it.
There.
Just taking a look inside. Potion of Iron Skin. Okay, I don't want to steal anything, but I wanted to take a look. Here as well. Everything would be stealing. Yeah, that's why I'm not going to. I just want to see what what there is. Alright. I've seen everything. We can leave now. Just close the door,
Afraid not,
please.
Captain.
What do you mean, afraid not? Just close the door.
Consider it done.
Thanks. Alright then. Let's leave this place. I have been in the... No, I haven't been in the Prince's chambers yet. So let me take a look at them as well. Stormspeaker's warning. My prince, I have once Kahanga against calling rain over the outside of forts, but still she delights in rusting their weapons and muddying their soil, which tells me that someone must have put her up to this trickery, someone she trusts. She admires you, my prince, but I say that she is a storm you cannot control. Onikaza will not thank you for prodding the eel's den. You have given enough faith to trickster Nagati. Now take Amira's example and await the hatching of the egg. The turbulent skies speak of change and upheaval. I say let them come, but save your strength for the day the skies open. I have recommended that Kahanga seek you out. There's a place for her in the fleet if you find yourself in need of Amira's sharpened beak. For the Isles, Stormspeaker Baudo. Holy hell. Fine warhammer. And here... exceptional large shields, guard brigandine, Juana guard helm, obsidian flake, Juana colors. Okay. I don't need the Juana colors. I would need the Principe colors actually for this one quest.
You ask too much.
I asked too much, yeah, because you're standing in the way, idiot. Sorry. I'm not sure if I want to have Tikio that long in my party if no one likes him so much in my party. Maya doesn't like him, Adair, I don't know. Alof didn't like him either. Alright.
Can I ask you something personal?
Makera, do not hold back, my friend.
You sure? Sometimes I ask things to get people riled up without meaning to.
Well, if it riles me up, then I say you have my undivided attention.
All right. Is there any kind of ocean critter I shouldn't be eating in front of you?
The fuck? What? No, that's not where we want to go. Ocean critter. He shouldn't beat in front of him. And he didn't even answer. Okay, that's weird. Nope. I wanted to go here. We need to go to the Brass Citadel. Where exactly do we need to go for this quest? The Brass Empire, speak at the Brass Citadel. It does say only the Brass Citadel. Okay. With Karu. Wait a second, who is Karu? He just leads the forces, okay. Fleet Master's offices? Okay, I guess there. Alright, we need to speak to Hazanui Kura. Is that him? No, that's the Fleet Master Wakoyo. Alright, then let's go outside. Karu. Yeah, the thing is there's so many people that we met already.
I've been eating through all my good clothes lately. Just realized why.
What?
Why? It wouldn't happen to be on account of my lantern, would it?
I know you think it's funny, but the moths are so big here.
It's a divine light, meant to cut through the darkness. Of course it's gonna draw the biggest ones.
Oh, some of my pants wouldn't be polite to wear them in public anymore.
Let's see if we can get Imani now, though I doubt it.
My hands are feeling better. It's my pride that's still sore.
She glowers at her burned hands. I'm still looking for an experienced cannoneer. Will you join my crew now? She looks you up and down considering your offer.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know.
Okay,
I'm sure
not yet
you're
then.
capable. Let's talk again when you've...
Alright, so I can come back another time. I need to talk to Karu, who leads the forces. Maybe it's here in the officers' lounge? Lounge server? No, we don't have him here.
What brought you to the Royal Deadfire?
Where can I find Karu? That's the question now. Maybe inside here.
The Ranganui
Oh, no.
leads us, but he
Kuaru?
represents
No,
all the
it's not him.
Rautai.
Not him.
Then must he put his name on everything?
Probably in
Could
here
I share
then.
his sympathy?
What was that? That was a noise, and I don't know what it was for. Well, Karu. Here maybe? Yeah, here. Perfect. Let's talk to Karu. Azanui Karu paces near her desk, looking like a shark circling the shallows. She clenches a long, elegant pipe between her teeth, the smoke trailing in acres wake behind her. She looks up when you enter and favors you with a brief nod of acknowledgement.
The former Lord of Cadnua and one-time Terrifier of Harbor Masters. If dockside tales are to be believed.
She smiles briefly through her smoke.
You have not brought much good news of late.
A pensive look returns.
So, in addition to pirates, profiteers, and slavers, the Deadfire has a vengeful god roaming its waters?
She bites down harder on her pipe. It's Skane. Yeah. Things could be worse. At least it's not Skane.
Tell that to my dead at Hasongo.
She lapses into a brief silence, puffing on her pipe. Light-hearted, the faint trace of a smile forms on Idira's lips. Maya smirks and folds her arms. Tekihu pinches his lower lip and smiles. Joti nibbles on her lips to hide a spreading smile.
Just what the archipelago needs. One more disaster tugging at the seams. He must be stopped.
She halts, turning to face you. You're finally able to get a good look at her. She's not especially large for an Amawa, but she carries her shoulders high. Her weathered face looks to have seen many storm-blown and sun-beaten days on deck, yet her eyes are sharp and keen. That's why I came to you all at the palace. She waves a hand dismissively.
If there were help to be found at the palace, do you think Deadfire would be such a mess? The Valians won't lift a finger if it isn't to snatch a coin. And the Huana will barely do that much.
No? Tell it to the water shapers who washed your stranded boats from sandbars, Hazanui.
Akeo folds his arms and waits.
No one takes charge to solve the big problems. But perhaps we could work together to our mutual benefit.
She takes the pipe in her left hand. As she does, you notice that her right is unusually still. What do you mean?
Look around. Deadfire's full of fertile, temperate islands. Except for Andra's mortar. It's largely free of rough weather.
She waves her right hand, and you notice again that her fingers remain strangely still. You realize it's an unusually fine prosthetic.
Yet much of it is uninhabited. Itinerant tribes drift between some of the islands, and smugglers and slavers cluster around the rest.
She shakes her head.
It's a waste. Imagine what this place could be. With well-guarded shipping routes. How many Rauataians we could feed with plantations here.
What does that have to do with me?
You've got a good head on your shoulders. Deadfire needs more of that. If you're chasing the god who's stomping this place into the ground, then we have a common goal. And if you're going to survive here, then you could use an ally.
A hint of a smile tucks her lips from her tar-stained teeth. What do you have in mind?
The disaster at Hasongo remains a key concern. We rely on the port there to ship food back to Rauatai.
She sucks on her pipe, hiding her worried expression behind a cloud of smoke.
That's on hold until you investigate. Short of that, there are other matters that demand attention. You've already spoken with Atsura. For now, I suggest you continue to work with him. I might have something for you later.
What is the game board for?
Hazatoa. Atsura and I usually have a game running. And this one's been going on for over a month and a half. Atsura's good at misdirection. But I've got a mind for the long game. You look like you've come with a purpose.
What happened to your hand? She extends her arm, holding the prosthetic between you. It's an exquisite piece with reinforced joints in each of the fingers and a smooth, sanded finish.
It happened a year into my first command. We were chasing pirates along Rawatai's south coast, and they landed a shot right next to our magazine. A lucky hit.
She's quiet for a moment.
I ran below. The fire was already spreading and making for our powder stores.
What did you do?
I smothered what I could with my uniform, pulled the rest away with my own hands.
Well, if you hadn't, you and your crew would have probably died. She nods.
We don't get to choose our challenges, do we? Just the way we meet them. There's a cost to every victory. And the win goes to those willing to make a sacrifice.
She considers the wooden hand, turning it into light. You sense satisfaction in her gaze.
I'll bet you already know a thing or two about that. And if you don't, Deadfire will teach you soon enough.
Yeah. Farewell. Alright, we have a quest from her, as well as a lot of experience points by just talking to her, which is also quite nice. And we're going to continue this in the next episode. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you there in the next episode of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Until then, bye bye.